Hi everyone, welcome back to Discover and Learn. Since I am a communications coach and a soft skill trainer, so I have to take a lot of sessions. So I do interact with a lot of professionals and students. And this question has come to me by a subscriber as well as from corporate employees also. They want to know how we can talk about on any random topic, or how we can answer situational questions, or how we can talk about any situational topic. Now, what is the situational topic? What is it about, and how to answer it, how to frame the answer, how to talk about it? I am going to tell you everything in this session. So guys, on that note, welcome back to my channel. I am your communications coach and a soft skill trainer by profession, and I'm here to help you out with all your communications problems and to help you speak English fluently and confidently. But if you haven't subscribed my channel yet, quickly subscribe my channel, like and share my videos, do write your comments in the comments section, and do not forget to press the notification icon so that you get all my videos on time, free of cost, and access to all the amazing content on this channel. What you have to do is stay tuned, stay connected, and watch my entire video to master this skill. And do not forget to write your comments in the comments section, guys. It is very important. Break that ice. Start speaking, start writing something, start engaging in conversations, guys. That is actually going to help you. So let's get back to the topic now. So what are situational questions, or how it is going to help us to improve our conversation skills or our English speaking skills? So situational questions are such that, when you are in an interview, when you are in a meeting, when you are in any situation, there are lots of questions which comes up, or there are lots of conversations which happen related to that situation. So that is a situational topic. For example, if I start thinking that if I would have been a doctor, what would I do? This is a situation which is given to you, right? That what will you do if you were a doctor? What will you do if you were a Prime Minister of India? What would you do if you were a teacher or anybody else, right? Or for example, if somebody asks you, what do you want to do 5 years down the line? Or how do you see yourself after 10 years? So these are situational questions. Apart from this, there are lots of things which can come up. Like during interviews, people might give you a problem statement, right? That this is a project, people are working on it, and this is the problem. So how will you come up with a solution? It's the same case with us also in real life, right? We are going somewhere and we are stuck in a long traffic jam. So we start thinking, what should we do in this situation? Whether we'll be able to get out of it, or if not, what else we should do to engage ourselves, because we have to spend that much time there inside our car, inside the vehicle, right? If it is a long jam for 2 hours or 3 hours, right? We don't have an escape. We can't come back. We have to be there. So this is called a situational topic or a conversation. So we do talk about it. We do speak about it. And it is quite random. It just comes up, right? Any situation might come up and you have to speak on it. Like what happened in this situation, or what will happen if this thing will happen, right? If it is in this way. If things are going in this way, what will you do? What will happen? And situational topics are very important to start speaking on. This is all based on imagination and creativity. If we are alert, if we are problem solving, we'll definitely be able to crack those questions. We'll be able to crack the interview, or we'll be able to crack that conversation, right? So we should start taking up such topics and start speaking on it, so that it becomes very random for you to start taking up any topic and speaking on it. So if you want to speak on random topics, situational questions or situational conversational topics are very important. Okay, and these are not tough, guys. It is very easy. You have to be very alert and you have to understand what the problem is. That is the main thing. For example, if I come up with this question like, what would you do if you were a doctor? For example, let's take this topic and I'll speak on it. Okay, now here I have to think about this topic as what problems I can solve as a doctor, or what all things I can speak about what the doctor does and I can do it in a better way, or I should do. Right? So we should start thinking about the problems first. So what is a doctor for? Patients come. He has to cure the patients. He has to provide medicines, diagnose the problem properly. Right? So this is a challenge, or this is the first thing which the doctor does, treats the patient. Right? So I have to think in a way, that I can solve that problem. I can come up with a solution which can help to solve people's problem, right? The treatment, how expensive the treatments are, how expensive the medicines are, how expensive the processes are, the operations, and it's very tedious, time taking, everything is there, right? There are lots of problems which come with this field. So you need to come up with a solution to it. If I were a doctor, what would I do? So the first thing I would like to say is, I were a doctor, I would keep my fee very minimum and it will be free for poor people. So one day I'll only treat poor people free of cost, and the other 6 days I'll be there treating other people, but my charges will be, the consultation fee will be nominal. Okay, so this is the first thing I will do. I'll make sure the wait time will be minimum. People don't have to wait the entire day to get an appointment or to wait to be treated. So it will be first come, first serve basis. So people have to take appointments beforehand, and only limited people will be allowed to visit the clinic. So there is no long queue, there's no wait time, and people will not suffer. Right? And I'll make sure the treatment is cost effective also. So this is 3 solutions which I provided. Right? We go to the doctor's clinic and we have to wait for a long time. The entire day goes waste, right? When we have to go to a doctor. So that is why I came up with solution to it. The consultation fee, the long queues or wait time, and the expensive treatments. So these are the 3 solutions which I have provided. So in this way, you can just try to answer any situational question. So for example, I'll take another example of probably during an interview, people are asked, how do you see yourself 5 years down the line? Or where do you see yourself 5 years down the line? So how do I answer this situational question? So we can start saying, like, if you're a fresher, then you can frame in this way. If you're a professional, if you're an experienced, you can just talk accordingly. So I'll say, so since I'm a fresher right now, but 5 years down the line, I'll have some experience. I'll be in a much better position. I'll know how to work on certain projects or certain technology. So definitely I would like to see myself growing in that field, in that technology. And of course, I want to grow in my designation and financially as well after 5 years. Okay, so this is how you can speak about it. How do you want to see yourself 5 years down the line? But you have to be very smart. You don't have to talk about only financial terms or designation. You have to mainly focus on your growth and your learnings. That I'll learn a lot. I'll keep on learning. I'll keep on growing in the technology or the field which I've chosen. I'll have experience. I'll keep adding more skills in this period of time, or during this time. So you have to focus more on growth and adding skills and learning new things. That will make you look better or sound better to the interviewers. So you have to be a little smart. You have to understand why they've asked this question. They want to know what your aspirations are. What do you want to do? Whether you are more inclined towards financial growth, or you're more inclined towards your professional growth or your learnings. So you have to focus on your learnings first. Right? So this is how you have to speak. You have to be very clever and smart in talking about it. Okay, so these are very tricky questions during interviews. Another example I'm going to take here is, for example, if somebody have asked you, like, so if you're a sales professional or a marketing professional, you might be asked how much sales you are targeting, or what is that amount which you have targeted at the end of the year. How much sales you can guarantee at the end of the year, or like a quarter or something. So they might ask you this question. Now you have to understand how to answer this question. You can't just come up with a figure and say that I'm going to make a sales of 1 lakh or 10 lakh or a crore. You can't say this. You have to be very clever and practical in your approach. So you should always focus on what to say or how to frame your answer. So you might start with, well, if you talk about a quarter, so I'll definitely look at what targets have been given. And probably after that, I'll start working on how to achieve that target. And coming to the figures, it's all about maths. So I have to look into the market, how the sales are, what is the requirement is. So there are a lot of factors which influences the sale of this product. So I have to take into consideration the entire thing. So once my target is given and I figure out all the factors which are responsible for the sales, I'll definitely come up with a figure and I'll be in a much better position to convey that to you. And since in my previous company I've achieved my target every single time, so I'm very confident that I achieve the target here as well. Okay, so this is how you talk about things, right? You can't directly say something like, yes, this is something I want to do, or this is something which I want to achieve. You have to talk about problems and solutions also. Maybe there is some problem, but I'll come up with this solution. So this is a solution. Okay, so this is how we talk about situational questions. So as I said, the launch of situational questions you can take up, like if I were a Sachin Tendulkar, if I were a sports person, if I were a celebrity, what should I do? If I were a sports person, which field would I choose? Or if I were a celebrity, what would I do to help children or poor? Okay, or anything else. As simple as if I were a celebrity, what would I do? Right? To help children or poor or anybody else, right? Or what kind of brand I would have chosen. Anything, whatever your choices, you can just take up such questions and speak about it. If I were a politician, if I were a chief minister or prime minister or anybody else, what would I do for people? So these are the questions you can just take up and you can just start talking about it. If I were a billionaire, what would I do? This is also an interesting question. So take up such kind of questions and start talking about it. This is very interesting, guys. You have to be creative. These questions shows that how creative you are, how far you can think about, or what you can think about. So once you start taking up such questions, it will be much easier for you to start speaking on any random topic, any topic which needs a little creativity, which needs a little different answer than the general topics. So start working on these topics as well. It will help you definitely to achieve confidence and fluency in speaking in English. So guys, that's it for today. I'll see you in my next session. Until then, keep learning, keep speaking, keep watching and keep exploring. See you. Bye-bye. Take care.